Hi everyone, it's the EnglishSimmer here, and welcome to today's video in which I'm actually gonna be testing myself because one, I'm not a builder, and two, bunk beds aren't the greatest in The Sims 4. You know I have my issues with these bunk beds and loft beds, but I was like, I'm gonna put our differences aside. You know what? I'm gonna go into this with some positivity that I can do this. And so I decided to create 3 different spaces with basically loft beds. There isn't a double bunk in any of these because I was like, I want to play around with move objects on. I want to see what I can get up to. So this first one that I am working on is actually inspired by my own little kiddo bedroom when I was like, I don't even know how old, maybe like 7-ish. I was obsessed with Pokemon, the games and the anime. I absolutely loved Pokemon so much, and obviously in The Sims 4 we do have void critters, which are basically Pokemon. I mean, we have like a virtual hunt of them in Snowy Escape, we have decal stickers of them in kids room stuff, we have like the card fighting game, and you can like unlock boosters and find cards and stuff. So I absolutely love void critters. I think they're actually one of the best additions of The Sims 4. I just love them so much. I think they can give kids like so much personality, especially if you have like a little collector kid or a little geeky kid. And this is inspired by my bedroom because I've talked about this before, but when I was a kid I had a loft bed that had like Pokemon curtains over it. I did try adding curtains to these loft beds, but if you size them down, the one thing that I don't like about curtains is you can't use move objects on to like move them up and down. I really wish you could, but you unfortunately can't. So I had a bedroom that had like 4 different colors on it. Like it had like brown for the dirt, and then it had like a tunnel decal sticker all the way around. It had like blue for the water, sand for the land, and then like blue for the sky. And I had decal stickers, like actual just stickers that I used to stick on to my bedroom wall. It was so much fun though, because like I was a kid and I was just like, this is so cool. Like I get to show off my love for Pokemon, and I also get to stick stickers on my wall. I'm fairly sure my parents did it so that I wouldn't just like take my actual stickers. Like I used to do sticker books. You know what? It's no surprise that I grew up to be like a geek and a gamer, because I really did grow up with that collector mentality. So it's really no surprise. So I kind of just did that based off this. I will say this is probably my least favorite one, but I do think it's super cute. It's very basic. It was the first one that I did. I didn't really like play around all too much. I was like, hey, I'm just gonna go for what I can go for. I'm gonna add some like decals on here. It's gonna be cute. I did playtest all of these, so they are actually working. The Sims can actually get into the beds, and they can also interact with everything that's underneath them. I know it does look a little bit strange, obviously, with the issues that we have with bunk beds and loft beds right now. You can't use like the 2 squares, you have to just use the 1 square under the pillow, which is unfortunate. I know there are some mods already, some modders have already done the work of basically freeing the loft beds, which I'll link a couple of them down below. The team are also working on it as well. There has been code found in the game that suggests like things are going to be slottable. I will say, if you do want to download any of these, I'm going to make them into like small rooms, I think. So if you do fancy getting your hands on any of these, just make sure like move objects on is turned on before you place them, or else it probably will mess them up. I also love putting like the little fairy lights over the bed. I still have fairy lights on my bed to this day. Whenever I video call, because that's been happening a lot this year, whenever I video call my friends, they're like, oh, is it Christmas in your room? Because I have like coloured lights. No, I'm just gay, okay? I just have rainbow lights and I'm never taking them down. So I love a good fairy light. We have them all over our house. We have them like around our windows and stuff like that. So because I couldn't do actual curtains on the bed, I decided to put the curtains behind the bed, which I still still think looks kind of cute. This is kind of like my princess room. That was like the inspiration behind it. I was gonna put the curtains on and like make a cute little den. I think it will be really nice when they do actually unlock that second tile, because obviously like you'll be able to have a couch down there and stuff, and it won't be quite so restrictive, and it also like won't look quite as empty as they currently do. Even though they are looking quite empty, I tried to fill them out as much as I possibly could. Like, I was like, okay, what can we fit under here that isn't gonna mess with the bed? Like, what can I do? So I threw some like little decoration pieces under there, some like makeup, some clutter. I wanted it to at least look a little bit lived in, but these are not full rooms. So like, if you are downloading them off my gallery, don't be surprised that they're so tiny. I'm probably just gonna turn them into like a 4x3 little tiny room. So it's definitely not a full room for your Sims. I just really wanted to focus on the little bunk bed area, but I really like them. I think they are super cute. I actually didn't test that bookshelf. Now that I'm looking at this one, I did not test that bookshelf, so I need to go back and sort that one out. And then lastly, I did like a little gamer room. Obviously, this is the one that I could connect with the most. I did go for a really like dark purple on the walls though, but that's because I really wanted to use this bed. I think this is my favorite swatch. I love it. Like, I loved it when it came with Parenthood. Yes, now it is Space Game, but I really just love the space one. I love the metal bunk bed as well. Maybe because I also had a metal bunk bed when I was a kid. I had one of those ones that had like a sofa underneath, like a futon, and then you could pull it out and it would be like a double mattress. Literally the most uncomfortable thing I ever slept on in my life. But I mean, it was cool to have as a teenager. I actually used the dining table under here because I figured dining tables gave a little bit better positioning than like desk did. So this is just like a really simple dining table, and then I grabbed a little computer to go on top, obviously a little gaming PC. I like my setup at the minute, but this one is cool. Like, I think this is a really cool setup. I didn't really like gender any of these. Like, I didn't want to like throw out genders, so I was just like, I'm just gonna make them like as neutral as possible. Like, I really do think any Sims could have these. I did some little backlighting. I kind of wish that we had like LED strips in the game that you could like attach on to the back of desks. I think that would look so cool, but I went for like a blue lighting, but obviously you can go into live mode and change those lights into whatever you fancy. And then I gave myself the dream white setup. I will say the only thing that doesn't work on this particular one is the console system. I had my Sim try to play a game on console and the chair was in the way. So like, if you do want them to play, maybe just like move the chair and like put it in a different area of the room, which I mean makes sense because you can move a chair around. But yeah, that was the only thing that wasn't available in this one. Like, everything else was usable. The TV on the wall was usable, and the little monitor by the side, and they could also play games, and they could also sleep in the bed. So even though I think like I have my frustrations with the loft beds, I do quite like how these spaces are still usable, especially if you put shelves under that bottom half, like where the ladders are. Shelves actually don't interfere, and neither do like wall decorations. It's just like if there's big objects on the floor, that's what will interrupt your routing and make the bed unusable. So if you do mess around, like, it is a little bit janky and you do have to do a lot of playtesting as you're going about it. I think if you just like mess around with it a bit, like, you will find ways to use these areas. And like I said, hopefully the team do sort it out. And then I decided, you know what, find me a gamer girl that isn't obsessed with plants at the minute. So I threw up a load of ivy on the wall. I also added in like a couple of extra bits that you wouldn't have seen in the video, just like to flesh things out once again. Like, I added like a little buy flag, but those are my little spaces under bunk beds. I just basically wanted to record this, see what I could do, give myself a little challenge. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Let me know which is your favorite. Have you built anything? If you have, like, let me know. I want to hear all of your inspiration. I love it when you guys come to me with ideas. There's also a ton of people on Twitter who have done some really, really cool builds. So I will link some of them down below. Thank you all so much for tuning in though. I really, really appreciate it. And I guess I will speak to you all in the next one. Hope you're all doing okay. Let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, see you in the next one. Bye now.